Pilin Anice, thank you so much for being with us today.
My pleasure. So happy.
Of course. So you do so much. You're a 500-hour experience registered yoga teacher, health coach, artist, skilled movement and wellness guide. You just do everything.
I do. I do. I'm really passionate about the work that I do and creating spaces for love, joy, and peace. And if I can amplify that, anything that I do, that's what I'm here to do. So,
I
yeah.
love that. And so, yeah, you are passionate about building community and creating and cultivating non judgmental spaces where people can really be seen and heard and where they can move freely and wholly. What does that look like for you?
Well, I would say it doesn't look like anything. It's a feeling. It's how it feels. And that comes from just energy. It's the energy that I believe I bring to spaces and that each of us collectively bring together. And so my intent whenever I'm creating a space is that everyone feels seen and heard and that the space is brave so that people can freely be themselves and show up however they need to without any pressure, without any judgment or expectation, but simply allowing themselves to just be in the moment, to feel, to experience movement, breath, or whatever it is that I'm guiding in that moment.
Oh, I love that so much. And now shifting gears a little bit. So you've been plant-based for how long?
Oh my goodness, about 20 years now.
20 years. And
Yes.
how did that get started? How did that evolve over time?
This is a great question because my journey to being plant-based, actually, I would say it was an accident,
Oh,
and that it was something that happened after working. I was working at a restaurant in college, and they showed a video about, I think it was something about cleanliness of bacteria that can grow in the meat, and
Oh,
something about that was just like, what? And so I didn't intentionally or consciously
sure.
start to
Yeah.
wean myself off meat, but next thing I knew, about maybe 6 months later, I hadn't had any. So I said, oh wow, I
Wow.
guess I'm vegetarian now. This seems to be working. And so I continued that. And then I began to educate myself on the benefits of eating plant-based or eating a vegetarian diet, more vegan at that time. And also, of course, the environmental impacts and the ethical impacts of that. And so something I continued, and I'll say the meat was easy, but the dairy was really hard.
Oh,
But it
yeah.
was something that was causing a lot of health issues for me. And so
Yeah.
I did it gradually. It wasn't an abrupt stop. It was something that I
Okay.
did slowly because we all know dairy cheese is addicting. Has the
It
opiate
is.
effect on
It
the body.
is.
So it did take some time, but I
Yeah.
got there and I felt so much better. And so something I continued. But I'll say that now, maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, intuitively, there was something else that I was kind of needing. I think it was fish. So now I do incorporate fish in my diet, but it
Okay.
was not, again, something that happened intuitively. It wasn't really a
Yeah.
conscious thing or it was offered. And I said, oh, something said yes. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess this is what I need now. So I think it's really important to understand with bio-individuality that we're constantly evolving. Our bodies are needing different things as we age. And so
Yeah.
this is where I am now. So I say I'm plant-based now. And before I was saying I was vegan, but just shifting and evolving and
Yeah.
allowing myself to be and nourish myself however is needed in that season, which is
Yeah.
where I am.
Oh, wow. And for those of us that are thinking of, becoming vegetarian, it sounds like your process was quite organic. But for example, a client, what advice would you give to, venturing out into taking out meat or taking out dairy from the diet?
Yes, I think that's a great question. It depends. It's a case by case basis. So if it's someone who has something specifically, something that's really creating an irritation from something in their diet,
Yeah.
you do want to eliminate it as soon as you can.
Yeah.
But if it's something you're trying out and experimenting, then I always say start slow. There's no reason that you have to stop and say I'm doing anything dramatic. You can say I'm going to incorporate a plant-based diet maybe 2 to 3 times a week, and then notice how you feel. We all know the health benefits of it. We've all read the books, we've seen the articles, we've heard the podcast. So give it a try and see how it feels in your body, and then maybe you gradually make your way up to more or not. But I think finding some ways to incorporate a mostly plant-based diet is definitely beneficial, and science backs that.
Yeah.
And the way that we feel also backs that. So I always encourage clients to take it slow, to start with maybe 1 to 2 days of
Yeah.
plant-based eating and go from there.
Perfect. And let's talk a little bit about IIN. So, what's your journey with IIN? How did you come across it? How did it change your trajectory? What was that experience like for you?
I love IIN. I love IIN, and IIN really was the catalyst that got me in living in purpose. And I say that truly because I started my journey with IIN in 2009. 9, which is when I found out and enrolled in the program, and I was working at a job that I didn't like. I had just become a mom, and really trying to find ways to live on purpose and to share my gifts, but not really knowing how and not really having the confidence to do so. And IIN not just provided me an education on health coach, on wellness, and understanding all of different modalities, healing modalities and wellness modalities, but it also gave me the impetus or the push, the drive, the confidence to step out as a health coach, and also to do my yoga teacher training, which I did right after I graduated IIN. So really, when I think about my journey as a movement and wellness guide that I like to coin myself now, it started with IIN. IIN was really like if I had the seed, because I'll say I was already plant-based, I already did this lifestyle thing, but I didn't know how to use that and share it with others. But IIN took that seed and just poured into it, gave it the sunlight, gave it the fertilization, everything. And so I'm so grateful for IIN for all that it's given me, and also to be a part of this community and share it with others and encourage them to be their best selves and step out on their dreams is really rewarding for me.
Oh my gosh. And why do you think right now, health coaches are needed?
Health coaches are needed because, we all, right now in this world, I think we just heard today at this conference that there's something powerful about being a light in your community, about taking care of ourselves and showing up for ourselves and encouraging others to do so. And we all need that right now. Everyone needs that. And so when I think of health coaches, they are those lights that are not just that light will help to illuminate other lives, and then it just spreads out. And if we're really seeking, again, like I said, to amplify joy and love, we do that as health coaches. We do that, and we love our bodies, we care for ourselves, we nourish ourselves, and then we guide others in doing the exact same. And that's powerful, not just for ourselves, not just for others, but for generations to come. So health coaches are needed for the world to continue to evolve and grow and vibrate on a place of love and light and joy. And so let's keep doing the work.
Oh, I love that. And then what brings, it sounds like you kind of answered the question already, but what brings you joy being a health coach?
Yes,
like,
that's what I just said.
It just brings you joy.
It just brings me joy because I love people. I'm a people person, and I love to see people living their best lives. I love to see people in their purpose, living and being full. And that's what we get to do as health coaches, is guide people to that, because it's already within them. And so it's just helping to, kind of shine it up a bit, get away that residue, let go of the debris, anything that's holding us back from being our truest, best, authentic selves. And that's the work. And I am just so grateful and full of joy to be able to do it.
Oh, I love that. And we can't end an interview without getting a wellness tip.
Oh.
So what is your wellness tip that, either has changed your life or you feel like is really accessible for others that you want to share?
A wellness tip. There's so many wellness tips. How do we choose one wellness tip? But when I think about wellness tips, I always think about where you are in a season, because everything that we need moment to moment, not just as individuals, but collectively, is different in the season. So I think right now, what we need is rest. I think a lot of people are needing rest, and knowing that with rest, that's going to help to restore our nervous system. That's going to help to restore our immune system, our digestion. Everything is going to be supported. Our hormones, everything is supported when we rest. And not just sleeping, but also taking time in nature, taking time to just be still, to be mindful, to be in practice with breath, to put down the device. And again, just be present with those who are in front of you, giving them your eyes, giving them your attention. So resting in the moment.
Oh, I love that. Well, Pilin, it has been an absolute pleasure. And on behalf of everyone at IIN, the IIN family, thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, thank you. It's my absolute pleasure.